Okay, listen, we can't say too much yet, but Amanda and I have been secretly renovating the entire Brave New Teaching world behind the scenes.
We are taking our entire podcast, our shop, our workshops, combining them into one massive university. It's going to change how you plan your entire year.
It really is, but we need help testing the new platform.
So if you want a sneak peek and the lowest price that it will ever exist, get on our beta waitlist right now at bravenewteaching.com/waitlist.
Seriously, you guys, go now. bravenewteaching.com/waitlist. Let's go.
Well, hello and welcome back to another team meeting episode of Brave New Teaching. Hi, everyone. It's Amanda, and I am so excited to be here. We are going to be continuing our conversation about planning. Yes, you've got me here, so you know that we're doing planning. We're thinking big picture, like really big picture today. And this is another episode that would be brilliant to pair with last week's episode as we're thinking through the end of the year. This week, we're going to be doing a little bit different than last, and we are going to be reflecting on this year, the things that went well, the things that were not so great, and using that information to make adjustments and plans for next year on the kind of zoomed out big picture scale. So for those of you who have been with us for a long time, you'll know that curriculum rehab, which is part of our Brave New Teaching University, it's like the 400 level. It's like you've been through everything that BNT has to teach you and offer you, and you are a really serious curriculum planner, big picture planner, or you're someone that really wants to be there. This is the gold mine of what we do in that course. I'm going to take you through like the baby steps today of getting yourself in a place that you can do the planning that we teach in curriculum rehab. You have to do this reflection step first, which is why I want everyone to hear it and everyone to do it. So your first step today is going to be actually making sure that you are enrolled in BNT University 100 levels. The university is grouped into 4 different levels, right? The 100s is our completely free coursework that catalogs all of our major teaching practices and best practices and all of our free resources in one place. So to register for that, you're going to head to bravenewteaching.com/BNT University. Once you are there, today's work is going to be located in our systems and design department, and it's going to be in course 102. 102 is all about planning and systems that are sustainable. So in there, I will have for you today's download. Today's download is a set of interview questions that you are going to use on yourself, or you can use them at your next department meeting. You and your team level teachers can sit down and work through these questions together. They're meant to be discussion based. You don't need to write down your answers, but writing down your answers might help you find patterns. So if you're looking for a way to comprehensively, organize this discussion, it's here. If you're looking for a casual way just to check in with yourself, maybe just listening to this episode and downloading the checklist will help you just think through and bullet point things for next year. Either way, I want you to go to bravenewteaching.com/BNT University, get yourself enrolled for free in the 100 level. And then as you feel more and more confident, you can access deeper and deeper levels of this planning with us as we move through the rest of your experience here at BNT. So today is going to be, like I said, we're looking back in order to move forward, and we're not waiting until August to do this. Repeat after me. We are not waiting until August to do this. You cannot tell me that in August you are able to remember anything from this school year. If I were to ask you right now, and I'm going to ask you right now, to think back to some of the assessments and the essential questions that you used in September, you're going to struggle, much less waiting even longer. We're going to do this now. I just did this, a version of this. I work with a school not too far from where I live, actually, and I've been working with them for about 3 years. And we are building their IB, their International Baccalaureate program. And so one of the things we did right now, it was actually last week, was look back at every single unit. Each grade level has 6 units, and we tweaked everything from every unit. Now, we did it in April. So if you're listening to this in May, even in June, this is the time to do this exercise so that next year you're not starting behind, you're starting ahead. So go download everything and let's cue the music. You're listening to Brave New Teaching, and we are so much more than a podcast.
We give teachers the inspiration, support, and tools to challenge the status quo.
I'm Amanda, and I'm a former English teacher from Illinois.
And I'm Marie, and I'm a high school teacher from Southern California.
Join us after the show and happy hour to extend your BNT experience with instant access to our resources, workshops, and courses.
Visit shop.bravenewteaching.com/happy hour to join us today. We're so glad you're here. Enjoy the show.
Okay, so I'm going to walk you through these questions. This episode's not going to be that long because it's just meant to be an audio guide through the work that you are doing. So on your handout, you'll see that we have 3 categories of things that I want you to reflect on. Category 1, curriculum and assessment. Category 2 is your classroom environment and systems. And category 3 is your professional energy and boundaries, the personal things. Let's get started with category 1. For each of these categories, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Your job is, other than kind of just take notes or if you have thoughts that pop into your head, as you listen to this question and you think through your answer, we are also going to decide how you're going to handle that answer. Is this something that we are going to either A, do now? We're going to make the adjustment right now. It's going to be part of your end of the year checklist. You want it to be done or handled or addressed or planned or printed before the last day of school. Is it something that you want to table for summer? Now, caveat for summer, Marie and I for a long time have talked about everyone has a very different approach to summer. I personally kind of maintain the boundary that in the summer, I do very much like to plan big picture things. I also like to accomplish projects that are easier to do without kids around. So I'll usually pick like one curricular project and one physical project that would improve a system in my classroom. I don't do it over the summer because I think I should work outside my contract hours. I do it because I would rather do it in the summer than during my contract hours because I can get it done faster or more efficiently. And it might require more brain space just to kind of work through it once the school year is over. So for me, I only pick 2 projects for the summer. So this might help you narrow those projects down, or maybe you're taking summer completely off the table. That's totally fine too. Then the other option is it waits for next year. So either you're going to do it now, you're going to do it over the summer, or it waits for next year. I guess I could say also like maybe the 4th option is it's not that important or it doesn't matter, but that probably goes without saying. So remember your 3 options. Let's dig into your questions. All right. Category 1, curriculum and assessment. Number 1, which unit or project took the most effort to grade or prep, but yielded the lowest student engagement or growth? This one might hurt, but we need to be realistic about it. So which unit took tons of effort, but it really didn't yield the results that you were hoping it would? Is this something that you want to address before the end of the year, something over the summer, or it waits till next year? And this could be as simple as, are you going to redesign it? Or are you going to kill it? Are you going to table it? Whatever that decision might be, figure out what it's going to be and then when you're going to follow through on it. Question number 2, which essential question consistently led to the deepest classroom discussions and why? I want you to figure out not only what the question was, but why that question was so powerful. I'm sure the topic had a lot to do with it, but I'm also guessing that the question stem or the way that you asked it or the length of the question or something in the language, you're going to be able to narrow down and identify what made it so successful. So when you figure that out, your plan for next year is, how can I do that in other places? Where can I recreate this magic in other essential questions? But first, you need to figure out what the magic was. What made it so good? All right. And number 3, we're going to do a quick assessment audit. Where did the grading pile bottleneck happen? And how can that assessment either be simplified, moved, or automated for next year? There might be a couple of different spots, but where were those spots? Where were those bottlenecks? And what needs to happen next year to adjust them? Maybe it's a complete overhaul. Maybe it's just a calendar conversation. I want you to figure out the answer to that question and then decide when you're going to address it. Are you going to take care of it right now while you're thinking of it? Are you going to table it for the summer? If you're going to table it for the summer, maybe it's because it's happening a lot and you want to create a new system that makes it more efficient. Or next year because it's a small tweak and it probably depends on how things go next year. Okay, let's now move into category 2, your classroom environment and systems. So let's start with number 1, identifying a friction point. What was the one daily routine that caused the most recurring micro stressors? Was it attendance, your work turn-in policy, pencils, supplies, right? Anything that was on your digital clutter list? I mean, where were those things that consistently drove you nuts? And what might your possible options be for next year? If you're going to do it now, that means you are really confident, you know exactly what it was, you're going to fix it, and we're going to be done with it. If you're going to think about it and maybe do it over the summer, this is a perfect example of something that I've done over the summer, which is overhaul a physical like turn-in space or a physical organization submission process that needed me in my classroom without anybody bothering me. That might be a great summer option for you. Or are you going to save that until next year and you know like your class sizes or you know which sections you have? That might be something that you wait till next year. But I still want you to think about you're always going to have students, you're always going to have a classroom or a cart or whatever that might be. How do you reduce the friction? Number 2, let's talk about how your space functions. Is there a corner or an area of your room that became a clutter magnet or became in my library, I have this weird spot between like a shelf and the sink in the library. And like whenever kids come to the carpet, there's always like 2 kids who try to like tuck back there. And I'm like, what are you doing? Because it's like the most obvious thing for me to see, but they feel like they're hiding and I can't stand it. So things, whether it's clutter or like a physical way, like that kids kind of disappear, identify it, make a plan for how you're going to change it, and then decide when you're going to fix that. So are you going to do it now? Are you going to do it over the summer? Next year? And then finally, number 3, I want you to think about the communication loop. How successful and effective was your system for communicating with parents and absent students, right? When things were happening outside of your classroom, students were going on field trips with other classes. Students were leaving class early to go to games on the buses because they were far away. Whatever those instances were, whether it was absences, parents, buses, you name it, how did that work for you? Do you feel good about it? Do you want to make adjustments? That's a really important piece of like stress that enters into your life that you want to keep at a minimum. So think about that. All right. Now, number 3, our professional energy and our boundaries. All right. Number 1, what task did you spend 2+ hours on weekly that ultimately did not impact student learning? This could be a during class habit, a routine, right? Something that you were, maybe it was your bell work. Maybe it was a strategy that you kept trying over and over and over again, and it just kept falling flat. This might be something that you spent outside of class with your planning, your organization, your grading, but something that you spent a generally significant amount of time, maybe daily or almost daily, but you're here now and you don't feel like it did what it was supposed to do. What was it? Are you going to fix it now? Or are you just going to ditch it? Are you going to do it over the summer? Next year? Number 2, when did you feel the most at peace this year? And what was the boundary you had in place at the time? Maybe you were leaving at a certain time. Maybe you were turning off your work email on certain days, like the weekends, or maybe you were coming home from work. This is one thing for me, like my days are all different. So I know for me, my Mondays are crazy. It's 10 classes back to back that I teach. And then I have a lunch break. But on Mondays, I was trying to come home from work and do all my normal things at home. And after winter break, I was like, no, Mondays are the day that I'm going to completely just have fun at home. I'm going to be miserable at work. Not miserable. That's a little dramatic, but Mondays are generally not fun. I mean, they're great. I love my kids, but like 10 classes back to back is a lot. So the first thing I do when I get home is I take an everything shower on a Monday at like 4 p.m. I mean, it is luxurious. I light my little candle and I take a long shower and I just wash the day away. And I started figuring out that my body and my ADHD that I've talked about in the podcast before, one thing that I really struggle with is boundaries, but like for myself, like actually signaling to my body that work is over and I have moved into another time. Neurologically, right? My system doesn't shut down if I don't physically tell it to. So a shower, and even though it's early and kind of an odd time to do that, has made my Mondays so much better. And yes, yeah, I'm clean, whatever. But like, it's not even that. It's just that I feel like it is the number one way that I have found to shut down my nervous system after a crazy day and just be. Those are the nights that also my husband and my son, they go to scouts. So my daughter and I have girls' night. We do girls' dinner every Monday. If you don't know what girls' dinner is a cutting board and all of the treats and snacks and lovely things that I have in the fridge. We cut up cheese, we have crackers, I have whatever leftover strawberries there are, but like we cut them up, we make the like charcuterie experience really beautiful, and we just pick at our favorite foods and we don't care about it being a meal or not. Sometimes I'll make something like really random and fun, but it's never a traditional meal. There's no prep. It's just, if there's prep, it's like, oh, don't forget to get chocolate pretzels. And that has been so nice. I love Mondays now because I'm looking forward to that time with my daughter and all those things that I love. And it has made the workday even better too. So that's a long example of what I'm talking about with your boundary successes. Where are they? What has worked? What are we going to recreate? Or like, where are the holes? Because I've definitely skipped that a couple of times and I can feel the difference. So I know that whatever my schedule looks like next year, that is the kind of afternoon that I want to have. And I need to find some other good signaling activities for myself because I do need that nervous system slow down the other days of the week as well, not quite as intensely, but I do tend to just keep working or keep work on my mind. And I really need to work on that. And then finally is your skill gap, right? What is one tool or strategy, and be really specific here, that you want to master that will make your life easier? So when you kind of look back at the list from the other questions I've asked you today, whether that's like your assessments or your turn in process, is there a tool or a strategy you can learn, you can implement that will help those other processes feel more streamlined and ultimately benefit you in creating boundaries, in having more time back to yourself? What are you willing to invest some time in learning now over the summer, or you want to really dig into next year so that everything feels better to you? Okay, so I walked you through all the questions. I walked you through some examples. Now it is your time to do this with your team, your department, or to do on your own. Maybe you want to break it down one category per day. Either way, I hope that this conversation and your free download handout with all of this and kind of like the workbook page that I've made, I hope that that helps you think through this all at once, and you can enter your end of the year feeling confident and calm. You can enjoy your summer being really focused on what matters. And ultimately, you can start next year feeling really focused and in control of your vision Everything changes when the school year actually starts again, but you having an idea of your vision well before everything starts to get nuts will definitely help you keep your calm. So I got to go, and I'm going to go work on some of these things myself. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week at school. And I'll see you over in Brave New Teaching University very soon. Bye-bye. Thanks again for listening to Brave New Teaching.
We'd love to keep the conversation going over on Instagram.
And while you're there, check out the links in our bio for the most up-to-date events going on in Happy Hour and the Brave New Teaching community.
Thanks for being here, and have a great week at school.